It's been an interesting 2-3 week start to the NBA season so far. We have James Harden going absolutely insane. We have the Lakers going absolutely insane as expected. We have the Clippers, who are not fully loaded yet, but are expected to be right there with the Lakers when they are. So, Bradley, what are your takeaways so far from the first 3 weeks of the NBA season?
Well, James Harden, like you said, has been absolutely impressive, especially these last 6 games. The Rockets, though they've been a bit disappointing in the years past, it seems like they've got something cooking up this year. At least James Harden is cooking something up this year. And the Lakers have also surprised me a lot, not because they're this good, but because they're this good this early in the season. I thought a lot of the chemistry and a lot of the connections on that Lakers team would take a little bit to kind of find their way and get going. And they start out kind of okay-ish and then work their way up to that playoff final caliber team. And here they are gelling this early. And LeBron, for as much as people talk, he's still not showing that many signs of age. And here he is leading yet another team.
What I think obviously has been insane so far is James Harden, like you said. I think, well, before the season, there was all the talk about, wow, who's going to come out of the West? It's got to be the Lakers or the Clippers. It's crazy that Kawhi, who's a killer, who right now I think is the best player in the game, just came off of winning a Finals MVP, beat LeBron a long time ago when he was with the Spurs, won a Finals MVP then. Now he's in the same building as LeBron James. I think he's coming through the throne, and I think he's coming heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's no doubt that the Clippers have the better roster than the Lakers, but so far, you like you said, you didn't expect the Lakers to be good this early. I think it's been the opposite of what I expected, because I expected the same thing as you. I expected the Clippers to be good early and have it figured out immediately, and the Lakers have to wait sort of to like the 30-game mark.
Yeah.
And it's been the exact opposite. The Clippers are, I think, 7 or 8 and 5, and the Lakers are 10-2 or 11-2. So then again, it's very early. I'm not concerned about the Clippers at all, but just a short list of predictions. I think personally that the Clippers are going to the finals.
I agree.
I think the Sixers are going to the finals.
Because I think once the Clippers gel things together and get better later in the season, they will be the better team in Los Angeles.
I agree, 100%. I think the Clippers and the Sixers are going to match up in the finals, and there's no bias in that. The Sixers, if you look at them from top to bottom, are the best team in the Eastern Conference. The Bucks can compare, and the Celtics are off to a very hot start, but the Sixers thrashed them the first night of the season. So obviously, those are regular season games. You have to see what occurs over the course of a playoff series where home court advantage is going to play a factor. But those are my predictions. Right now, I have James Harden winning MVP in a landslide, what seems to be so far.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the playoff picture, I guess, the interesting thing with the NBA is you really don't know who's for real and who's not until arguably after the All-Star break. Like, you know who the good teams are, but you can't really tell who's going to make a dent in the postseason until after the All-Star break, I would argue. The other team that surprised me a lot so far this season, going back to the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat.
Yeah. This kid Kendrick Nunn is for real.
Nunn is for real. Hero's for real. Dion Waiters is not for real. But, you know, props to Coach Spo. He's doing a great job over there. But one last comment on the NBA here is, I'm going to kind of toss this question to you. Do you think it's a problem that the West is still so far superior to the East? Because I think that is an issue in the long run.
I mean, I guess if you look at the NFL, I think the NFC's miles ahead of the AFC, despite the fact that the AFC has the Patriots. And in the NFL, there's more parity than any other league. And this is the first year, like, in the NBA where it's like, wow, like, there's some serious parity. Like, we got, like, legitimately, like, 3, 4, 5 teams that could potentially win a championship. Yeah. Like, if you look, don't count the Warriors out. The Warriors are going to get Steph back, assuming they make the playoffs. By the time
I'm counting the Warriors out.
You got Draymond Green, you got D'Angelo Russell. That's a team right there. Portland with C.J. McCollum. And they got Nurkic back, and obviously Damian Lillard.
Portland's underrated.
And they just signed Carmelo Anthony, very underrated. Denver, you know, with Jokic
and no one talks about Denver.
No one talks about Denver, yet they're insane. Jokic was, according to the ESPN 100 rankings, he was the 7th best player in the league last season. Obviously, the Clippers and the Lakers, But now with the way the Rockets are playing, everybody expected James Harden and Russell Westbrook to struggle at the start, which they did in the very, very, very beginning. But it was crazy to me that one night the Wizards and the Rockets played a 300-point game. The Rockets won 152 to 148. And Russell Westbrook had like 17 points. James Harden had like 48. So it just goes to show you that Russell Westbrook is a primary ball handler and James Harden's a primary ball handler. But it seems to me like they're going to figure it out and pose a threat in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I see that too. But just based on the Rockets' recent history, I don't see them making a huge dent in the West. But I think once Russ and Harden really start to get things going, it will get interesting. And I agree with you that there is more parity this year, but I think just this season and years past, I think there has been a sense that the West has been consistently better.
Oh, it's better than the East, 100%.
I mean, that's kind of hard to argue. But props to the Eastern Conference this year so far, because a lot of teams, Celtics, Heat, Bucks, they're all coming out and impressing so far. Sixers, of course. But it'll be interesting.
Very interesting.
And just these first few games, it's really interesting to see what's working so far and what's not. Like we said, the Lakers are working. The Rockets, it's going to take a little time to develop. The Clippers, so far, a little scary so far. But we know these teams will get things going later in the season. And it'll be interesting to see at that point.